All of the leaks about Stranger Things 5 were proven true last night with the first 5 minutes and on top of the trailer, and we're going to go over those exactly right now. So I'm going to switch on over to this and show you the leaks because that's always an interesting thing to do, and you can read them all with me. So there we go. So we got the episode names, and this is, by the way, this came out earlier this year, and some of this came out late last year, but it's all been proven true, says the internet. I mean, some of it has been proven true already by the trailer in the first 5 minutes, and you'll see that as we go along. But let's start with this. This is an editorial from Netflix. It says, episode names, Chapter 1, The Crawl. Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Holly Wheeler. Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap. And we learned about Turnbow last night. An incredible actor. And a lot of people said that they're not going to like him because he starts off as the bully. Well, nobody likes bullies, but actually the actor is like really happy and a nice guy. So I hope he does really well in Hollywood later on. But that is the Turnbow Trap. He either sets a trap or maybe he's the one that made Holly Wheeler disappear from The Vanishing, but we're going to get into Holly a little bit later because there might be something else that she does that makes her vanish. Maybe she's got some powers. We'll get into that in a second. Chapter 4, Sorcerer. Chapter 5, Shock Jock. And Chapter 6, Escape from Camazotz. Now, they don't go over the last two chapters. They just give us these six. So maybe this was an earlier script, or maybe this was like an earlier kind of rundown of what Stranger Things 5 would be. Now we know there's multiple episodes over an hour and a half long, and there's one that's over 2 hours long. That would be the finale. But guys, if you don't want to be spoiled for any of this, y'all go somewhere else because you are literally going to find out how the show ends in these spoilers. Literally, because the internet says they're confirmed, and it's kind of been confirmed with the trailer, and it's kind of been confirmed with freaking everything so far, with like the first 5 minutes as well. So you'll see. Let's get down to general. November 6th, the day all this started, is the day it ends. One last strange adventure, which we all know, and this yet again, earlier this year it came out. Like we're talking like the first couple of months of this year, this came out. So we know One Last Strange Adventure is what they've been pushing. They've been really pushing that. All friends welcome sign on the exterior of Castle Byers, which we saw in the first 5 minutes. Castle Byers. We also saw that, they could have gotten this obviously from the first season or, what have you. He's a survivor about Will. Friends don't lie. Bitchin'. Seems dangerous, aka a job for Steve Harrington. Steve Harrington's the GOAT. Okay, and nobody has more motion than Steve Harrington than he did in season 1, taking on a Demogorgon with a nail bat or bat with nails driven into it. Come on, who's doing that? Only Steve Harrington. So, monsters aren't real, Mike to Holly, and as we know, Holly Wheeler is the person that vanishes in chapter 2. Chapter 2, episode 2. Hawkins Heroes, greetings from the upside down. So that is the general. Let's go on into the next set. And actually, this is one page. So what I'm going on to is the other half of this page. So let's go on over to the other half of this page. And now the crawl begins. So if you look at these kind of line up with these over here. So maybe these were a part of, I jumped way ahead. Maybe these things that they're correlating, like chapter 1, the crawl, and now the crawl begins. Chapter 2, the vanishing of Holly Wheeler. For Eddie Munson, greatest part of Stranger Things 4. I think we can all agree. Outside of the Vecna, it's absolutely attractive. What do we got here? We got Chapter 3, The Turnbow Trap, which we all know Turnbow is the bully that people believe is going to pass away because he is the bully, but he turns good later on. He's got insecurities. We all do. And they say, now on 3, kill Vecna Ho. So I guess they're planning that in episode 3, which we get to see November 26th. Then we go back over here. Chapter 4, Sorcerer. And it says he's flipped. No, sorry. Saving the world, jackass Steve. We're saving the world, jackass. That's Steve Harrington. Classic Steve Harrington. He's flipped. Now, people are suggesting that this has to do with Will being the spy, being the builder, which we know Vecna told him that. And actually, let's go back to the trailer. The trailer in Spanish said that spy for him one last time. Not I'm going to use you one last time. Spy for me one last time. So I think they switched those words, to make it look something else. But yeah, he's the spy. Will has been the spy and the builder, which means that he's been built, and we're going to get into that. He's been building what Vecna needs to do what Vecna wants in this world, which is to make this world the Upside Down. She's going to need the full party. Probably 11, probably. The final battle, I feel like it started tonight. And actually, this is crazy. The final battle happens in 3 different locations. And who takes on Vecna? Is it 11? No, it's Will. Does Will have power? Does Will get some power? Come on now. Sorry, we're going over all the leaks, and they're all confirmed. Sorry. The final battle, I feel like it started tonight. This is our story, Mike to L. Aw, it's so sweet. It's so sweet. L plus Hopper. I need food for my battery 11. Eggo waffles. Hey, Eggo waffles. My battery's charged 11. She ate those Eggo waffles. Hey. Stubborn punk ass 11 and Hopper. Punk ass. I love it. Oh my gosh. 11's vocabulary, hilarious this entire decade. Max, music has a way of finding you even in the darkest of places, which confirms that Max does come out of her coma, and the music is what does it. The music is what pulls her back into her body from the coma that she is Vecna induced from. So let's go on to the next part. Remember, these are 2 parts of one, goodness gracious, one picture, okay? And this was an editorial by Netflix, looks like. Vecna, at long last we can begin. Which he said in the trailer. At long last we can begin. That was in the trailer. We are going to do such beautiful things together, Will. Such beautiful things. It literally says it in the trailer. This came out months ago, earlier this year. So, confirmed. Says the internet. Vecna, he doesn't leave things unfinished. He doesn't hold back. I think that's Will talking, because only Will has that kind of understanding of the Vecna. I'm going to save your friends, every last one of them. I believe this is Will speaking. I believe that is Will speaking, because and he's saying your friends. Maybe he doesn't think that he's a part of the friend group. I don't know. But he is going to save them. Vecna's curse. You were my vessel, my spy, my builder. That is Vecna talking to Will. And now why I bring this up, yet again, in the Spanish subs of the trailer, it said, I need you to spy for me one last time. One last time. The Squawk. Good morning, Hawkins. There's 3 A's. I figured out, whatever. WSQK, the Squawk. Hawkins Hitmaker. Rockin' Robin. My fellow quarantine compatriots. North 10, 2 hours, class dismissed, which I believe is like coordinates for something. I don't know. Probably, maybe that science teacher is helping them again. I mean, I would hope so. Who knows? All right, and then let's get into this part. This is interesting. This is role player inspired. This is interesting. Will the Wise, Mike the Brave. He goes on these adventures called Dungeon Crawls. Holly the Heroic. She'll keep you safe, promise. She's a cleric, which means she possesses divine powers. She can cast spells of protection to ward off evil spirits. Even cooler, she can cast a dimension door, which can teleport. Listen, teleport you anywhere you can visualize. Think about that. She's missing, and yet role-playing, she can cast a dimension door. Maybe she's got powers that we just don't know about yet. Holly Wheeler. Okay, I mean, come on. Can this lame-o Mr. What's-It do any of that? Mike DeHolly. Mike DeHolly, you know. In Eddie's last campaign, Eddie Muntz, may he rest in peace, the greatest of the great of Stranger Things 4 and the sacrifice of the decade, I defeated Vecna's lead acolyte by casting Prismatic Spray. In Eddie's last campaign, I defeated... Okay. Dungeon Master. This is Dungeon Master calling Scout.aa, if you all remember the first couple of seasons when they were using the radio, huh? Treasures are always given in the deepest depths of the dungeon. Oh, this is going to be such a good season. Now we are getting into the nitty-gritty stuff. This came out even earlier than that. These right here are going to go into the very... I'm going to explain to you what the very last part of the last episode is going to be, okay? So if you don't want to be spoiled, don't listen to this. This is everything, all right? And these are all just out there on the internet. You would imagine Netflix would have done something to like stop this. No, they're on the internet and they've been confirmed by the trailer. It's crazy. Stranger Things 5 opening The Hunt for 11. June 13th, 1986, the military officially declares 11 a fugitive. After the events of season 4, they see her as a nuclear level threat. Hawkins is under lockdown. We know now that Hawkins is under lockdown. We didn't know from the trailer that 11 is a fugitive. We didn't know that. We kind of expected that, but we didn't know that. The government fears another disaster and sends a full military force to take 11, dead or alive. They're not playing. They want her dead or alive. Either or. 11 is hiding with the group, trying to recover her full strength. You know, her. If we go back to the battery not being charged. Yeah, I need food for my battery, 11. She needs those Eggo waffles, okay? My battery is charged, 11. So let's go back here. Hiding with the group, trying to recover her full strength after barely surviving the battle with Vecna. But she messed him up. She messed him up. Okay, now he's got Vecna mind flare powers, but she messed him up good. And then, of course, you know, Vecna got blasted a couple times with a shoddy. Meanwhile, Will's connection to Vecna is getting worse. He no longer just senses him, he hears him. Voldemort type stuff. Like a voice inside his head. I'm immediately reminded of Linkin Park. Act 1, the Shadow War begins. Vecna has returned. He's not just alive, he's evolved. He's merged with the Upside Down, sorry I've read this a couple of times, itself. He's merged with it, becoming something even more powerful. His new form is similar to before, but more decayed, fused with the organic matter of the Mind Flayer. The new monster, even bigger than the one in season 3, remember the Mind Flayer meat monster? I loved it because this was very interesting. Netflix says it was only 50 feet tall. The way it was standing looked like 200 to 300 feet tall. But it was, according to Netflix, it was only 50 feet tall. And the meat monster itself was only like 29.5 feet tall. They released this a couple years ago. I did a video on it. It was a long time ago. Actually, I should have pulled that video up as reference. The new monster, even bigger than the one in season 3, is a gatekeeper, a living rift between dimensions. This is Vecna's final plan to make the real world and the Upside Down one. And remember, Vecna has fused with the organic matter of the Mind Flayer and the Upside Down. And he's got a gatekeeper that is far larger than the other one, which is a living rift between dimensions. This is getting crazy for season 5. Okay. The military, however, doesn't care about Vecna. What? Their mission is to take down 11 first, believing she's the true danger. Yeah. It's because she's a girl. It's because they can't. The girl has all the power. They're angry about it. Oh, well, we're the military. A girl has all this power. Take her down for. We'll take care of the man later. You know how they go. You know how they are. Act 2, the battle for Hawkins. We're about to get crazy here, guys. So just sit down. And yet again, the internet believes these have all been confirmed. Steve and Robin at WSQK, they work at the radio station and accidentally pick up on strange transmissions. At first, they think it's interference, but it's Vecna. Nancy's visions start happening. The ground cracks. The town burns. and people are swallowed by the rifts. The monster attacks Hawkins, but it's not just destroying, it's absorbing reality itself. People don't just die. They disappear like they never existed. I don't know why I said disappear. Spit in my mouth. But yeah, because they're being absorbed. And that is by that giant monster, which, as we know, is a living rift itself. Act 3, the ultimate sacrifice. Here we go, guys. If you don't want to hear the ending, you want to watch these episodes, skip this part, because this has all been confirmed, says the internet. The group realizes the truth. Will's connection to Vecna is deeper than anyone thought. And yet again, by the way, these came out earlier this year, before any of the trailers. Group realizes the truth. Will's connection to Vecna is deeper than anyone thought. The only way to stop him is for Will to enter the very heart of the Upside Down and confront Vecna in his final form. Will has to do this. Does Will have power? We're about to find out. 11 makes a choice. Instead of running, she faces the military. But instead of fighting them, she surrenders. She needs them to open the original 1979 gate to end this once and for all. You remember that? Remember that gate? She needs them to open it. The final battle takes place in 3 locations. 3 locations. This one's easier to do. I don't know. Will versus Vecna in the Upside Down, a mental and physical war. 11 versus the military, convincing them to stop, convincing them that fighting her is pointless. It's 11. What are they going to do? She could stop all their munitions at once if she wanted to. You know how powerful she is. She could jump, she could fly, she could pull down helicopters. I mean, what can't she do? Steve, Robin, Nancy, and Dustin at WSQK using the radio to disrupt Vecna's frequency. That is huge. I think that's going to buy everybody a lot of time in this. The ending. Guys, hey, skip this. You don't want to hear the ending. This is the ending of the entire show. It's right here. All of it. Right here. The ending, a new reality. Will sacrifices himself, dragging Vecna into a final void where neither can escape. Rest in peace, Will. He's gone. 11 unleashes one final blast of power, closing the Upside Down forever, but in doing so, Hawkins is erased from history. The survivors wake up in a different world, a world where Hawkins never existed. They remember everything, but no one else does. That is the entirety of Stranger Things 5, point by point. I mean, obviously, we're going to miss a lot of the nuance and the beautiful action and all that stuff from the seasons, but there's the story, according to the internet, from months ago. So, what do you guys think about this? This is what the internet claims and speculates is the ending and the entire story of Stranger Things 5, and a lot of it's been backed up by the trailer. Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more of this, more of me just finding leaks, if they're true or not. Who knows?